No. Ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered. The reader will read the next bill on the calendar.
Senate Bill 1439, an act amending Title I Arizona Vice Statutes by adding Chapter 7 relating to legal tender. Mr. President, your Committee on Finance, having under consideration Senate Bill 1439 relating to legal tender, submits following report. Your committee recommends the bill do pass. Steve Yarborough, Chairman.
The chair recognizes Senator Crandall.
Madam Chair, I move that when the committee rises to report that Senate Bill 1439 receive a due pass recommendation.
The reader will read the Farley floor amendment.
Farley floor amendment, Senate Bill 1439. Steve Farley.
Senator Farley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the Farley floor amendment to SB 1439 be adopted.
Explanation, please.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Members, when I heard this bill in committee, I heard that this was something that would enable us to show our value and be able to use for purchase in any place, something that has value to us, and that would mean any form of gold and silver, whether in whatever form it may be, minted in the state, minted somewhere else, or grandma's silver fork, for example. When I thought more about that, I thought, why not help this bill along by making it something that would be more Arizona-centric and recognize what we recognize as value here in Arizona. So as we know from looking at this Arizona state seal up there all the time, we know Ditat Deus, God enriches us through 5 C's: copper, cattle, cotton, citrus, and climate. So why not make the 5 C's legal tender in Arizona? So this amendment simply does that. It includes a definition of specie to include not just gold and silver coin or bullion, but also coin or bullion having copper content. Additionally, it adds livestock, cotton, citrus, and sunbeams as items recognized as legal tender in Arizona. Now, some may say, how would a store accept these things as legal tender when they're trying to buy something with it? Wouldn't they have to have somebody who was able to gauge what the price of beef is that day in order to figure out what the value of the livestock is they're bringing in to trade for the groceries? Well, this happened fine in the 19th century, and we've heard that a lot of good things happened in the 19th century, including when gold and silver were legal tender everywhere. And we had panics every few years, but that we got over it. And I asked, well, and the underlying bill says that if you take gold and silver in any form, that would seem to say that most stores would need to have scales and professional assayers on hand in order to determine what the content of the gold is to make sure what's going on. And the bill also says that you're supposed to pay their sales tax in the form that you have tendered the bill. So you could do that just as easily with the cattle, with the citrus. I mean, you could get a bag of oranges and then add a tangerine for sales tax. The same sort of idea. And considering we're here in Arizona, the 5 C's are so important, why shouldn't we go ahead and add to this bill things that will keep having value here in Arizona? And what has more value than sunbeams? So with that, I ask for your support for this bill in order to really make a statement on what Arizona values. Thank you.
The chair recognizes President Biggs.
Madam Chair, with the appropriate amount of respect, I rise in opposition to this this amendment, which I think, unfortunately, is an attempt at humor, and an unfortunate attempt as well. And so, I think that most people who introduce legislation in this body do so because they believe in the policy that is there. And it just seems to me that this particular amendment might be more appropriate for an edition of Saturday Night Live, and I urge members to vote no to this.
The chair recognizes Senator Crandall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise in respectful opposition to the Farley floor amendment and would hopefully remind everyone on the floor that some of these bills come from constituents and they feel very passionate about what they are, and to ridicule and to make fun of a bill that is being put through, I think is very unbecoming the profession that we have down here. And so I respectfully request that members vote against the Farley amendment. Thank you.
The chair recognizes Senator Farley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I take issue with the idea that this is ridiculing the bill. I believe the bill itself ridicules our system, our entire financial system. And I actually do have serious difficulties with the idea that we should be able to allow anyone anywhere to present any form of gold and silver. And this is simply a demonstration of how the underlying bill has serious problems with it. If you substituted the gold and silver bullion with anything else, like I'm saying in my amendment, we would not consider putting this bill forward here on the floor because it undermines our entire financial system. I think that yeah, maybe this amendment isn't something that's going to pass here, but it certainly serves a purpose, and the purpose of debate here to demonstrate the underlying problems with this bill as it moves forward. So there is a purpose here, not simply ridiculing passion, because we all have passions along here, but I think we all have passions to make sure that our financial system is as healthy as possible, and I think the underlying bill undercuts the health of our financial system. So there is a very serious point to this.
The chair recognizes President Biggs.
Madam Chair, I guess the point that I would make is the bill doesn't have any type of barter item in it. It has what has been recognized for almost time immemorial as precious metals, which is gold and silver, which is actively traded until just actually a few short years ago in this nation, was used to back up the currency. To bring in all the other type of items that we find in this particular amendment doesn't get at this bill. It doesn't make a point as to what the bill is. It actually is tangential to the bill. If you have a problem with the gold and silver bullion or gold and silver being used as specie, then attack that. Attack that, and then maybe take a look at the history of the United States, or excuse me, economic history of the United States since 1828, written by a Nobel Prize winner, which will explain the importance of specie as backing up the currency. So you either have fiat currency, which continues to inflate, which is what we have today, or you could have something backing up that currency. But it just seems that this amendment is tangential to anything with regard to this bill. Additionally, I'd like to just mention that this bill tracks with the United States Constitution. Just a simple reading of the United States Constitution will allow you to understand that the federal Constitution allows states to mint and coin money. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The chair recognizes Senator Crandall.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This in committee was actually talked about, and everybody's asking for what the details are. And it was discussed in the committee that this is simply to put it in the law so that it does recognize, and how to spend that and how to use that will be later put in. In fact, I have an amendment, if I can get to it, that will actually take care of that. Yeah, we want to know exactly today how everything is going to work, but it is a work in progress to be able to do that. And so I would respectful or ask again to vote no on this amendment.
You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Senator Farley, for closing comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I would argue that the details are very important in this case, especially as we are moving towards an online economy. Physical gold and silver are very difficult, just as physical citrus, physical cattle, and physical cotton are very difficult to trade plans on an online way. It's very difficult for anybody who is operating a retail establishment in this state to figure out how to take things other than legal tender from the United States Mint. It's going to put massive burdens on business in order to do that. And I think we have the right to find out what those details are before we proceed with a bill of this type. Thank you.
You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Chair recognizes Senator Shooter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would, after hearing Senator Farley's comments, I would like to volunteer to take any surplus gold or silver that anybody would offer on any occasion for any reason. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is there any further discussion? You've heard the motion. All those in favor of the Farley floor amendment will vote aye. All opposed, nay. The nays appear to have it, so ordered. There's a Crandall floor amendment.
Crandall floor amendment, Senate Bill 1439, Chester. Crandall.
The chair recognizes Senator Crandall.
Madam Chair, I move my floor amendment be adopted.
Explanation, please.
Yes, this simply delays the implementation day so that we can get the details put in to the end of next session.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor vote aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered. Senator Crandall, your bill is amended.
Madam Chair, I move that when the committee as a whole rises to report that Senate Bill 1439 as amended receive a due pass recommendation.
You've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor will vote aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered. The next bill on the calendar.
Senate Bill 1464, an act amending Section 41.